Alright everyone, we start off today talking about why I'm going to ignore Biden's State of the Union address. I've watched him in the past, but this time around I'm just not feeling it, I just don't care. I'll tell you why. The first thing is that the structure of the State of the Union is going to be very predictable. Biden is going to get up there on stage, he's going to spew some platitudes, a number of lies, half-lies, etc., and some propaganda. He's likely to say something about Donald Trump, effectively using the State of the Union as a stump speech, which is not actually technically something that you're allowed to do, but, you know, it's Joe Biden, so he can get away with it. I'm not going to bother justifying it. If I watch anything of it, it'll be like people's reactions. I could do a live stream for it, but I'm just not inclined. I'm thinking about not even doing my main live stream today. The weather is not particularly hospitable right now. You know, we had that burst of spring with some nice sun and stuff, get to go out charcoaling, make seedlings. Now it's just kind of dreary and cold. So I'm a little bit below energy today, actually, although I am well caffeinated. I'm like, I could waste my time listening to Joe Biden say predictable shit, or I could get extra sleep. I could eat an MRE. I could trim my toenails. I could watch grass grow. All of these things would be more entertaining than watching Joe Biden. He's a boring speaker. He's going to do the angry old man thing where, trust me, don't take a drink every time he does this. You'll be far more inebriated than anyone else and you might die of alcohol poisoning. Don't take a drink every time Joe Biden leans in close to the microphone and begins whispering something probably vacuous and vague, and then starts shouting and pounding the podium or something to that effect, and scowls with anger, particularly about Donald Trump or the extreme MAGA agenda or something like that. I mean, I could write the State of the Union for Biden myself. It's not like it would be far off the mark of what he's probably gotten written up. He's going to talk about record unemployment. Wonderful, yes, people are taking out second jobs to buy groceries, and if they're not lucky enough to find a second job, a side hustle, they're taking out credit card debt. Well, inflation's under control, man. Yeah, just ignore literally all elements of statistical analysis, because it's not under control, but, you know, people are conned into that sometimes. Gas prices are down, man. Well, wait a month and see where they go. You never know. I mean, it's the Biden economy we're talking about. Donald Trump is a danger to our democracy, and that's why I'm persecuting him and trying to literally upend the democratic process by attempting to prevent people from even being physically able to vote for him. The platitudes write themselves. There's no reason to watch the State of the Union address. I'm not going to hear anything that I haven't heard from Biden before. About the only reason to watch would be, okay, there's always a measurable chance that this feeble-minded 82-year-old man, or 81, I can't remember, you know, he yells a little bit too loud and he pops an aneurysm live on stage in front of all of Congress or something like that. Or you could have a funny moment where that dude who's leading the Republicans in the House, of course he'll be standing behind Biden the whole time, does a Nancy Pelosi and rips up the speech or something petulant like that. Basically, unless somebody else acts out and you get like a howling mob of hecklers or climate protesters charge the building while he's giving the address, I guarantee security more beefy than it was on J6, not without good reason, it's going to be a bore fest. People are going to fall asleep. Biden might fall asleep at the podium. That would be funny, I suppose. I can't think of a single reason other than hoping that Joe Biden has a senior moment and falls down or something like that. I can't think of anything else that would make the State of the Union entertaining enough to justify spending my time watching it. I would rather watch Donald Trump's live reaction to it. In fact, maybe I'll do just that. But I won't bother live reacting to it. Look, give me a presidential debate where Trump and Biden can hammer each other. I'll live react to that. Give me some other major breaking political event, you know, something novel, something that's not as predictable. Okay, here's a fire at a nuclear plant. We're watching live. Oh, okay, everyone, we're on explosion watch. Ha 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 ha. Get your potassium iodide, kids. Okay, that's fine. I'll live react to something like that, depending on the time of day when the news tips come in. I don't have alerts on my phone. I'm an insomniac, so I'm at a little bit of a detriment to some political analysts who literally, you know, they sleep next to 5 or 6 devices that are just waiting to ping them if something big happens. But I'm not going to do that. This is not going to be anything exciting at the State of the Union. It'll be lies and platitudes. He'll attack Donald Trump, we know that. He'll use it as a de facto campaign pitch, which will be hilarious and possibly get him in trouble with the House Republicans. Not that anything will be done about it, but they can bitch and moan and whine and investigate all they want, much like with the impeachment inquiry that's falling apart in real time, etc., etc., etc. He'll speak a lot about the economy, although he shouldn't address it at all, because everyone self-evidently knows the economy is not doing well. He's going to talk about jobs and unemployment rates. It's great that you've got record low unemployment. It's too bad all the additional job growth is, again, compensation for Bidenflation. He'll talk at some length about Ukraine and probably insinuate that the extremist MAGA GOP wants to abandon our allies over there because they're Russian pawns. He'll say something like that. He might address Gaza, although right now ceasefire tentatively has not yet been reached, although they are really trying, and actually it looks like they might prevail. That's the good news. It's just a matter of how much time it takes and what form it takes and how long it holds. I would be really surprised if a 30-day ceasefire actually held for 30 days at this point, for example. He'll probably try to take credit for that. Well, I've got Blinken over there every day trying to broker peace, and if Hamas would just come to the table, belly up to the bar, man, come on, or I'm going to make you do push-ups. I'm a big, strong man with my aviators and my fucking bicycle and shit. He'll try to portray himself as powerful. He'll try to portray himself as strong. And he'll try to portray Trump and everyone associated with him, so half the population, basically, as a bunch of extremist Nazis. Ta-da, I just wrote the State of the Union. I mean, you don't even need it to be a long address. It could be a 4-minute speech and just compress everything in there that you need because we already know what's going to be said. So count me out for this one. I analyze politics for a living. And I know that if I did a live stream on the State of the Union, it'd probably pull in quite a bit of attention. That means quite a bit of money, too. I'm thinking, like, sitting through an hour-long Biden speech, is it worth the super chats? No. No, in the end, it's not. It would be that painful for me. I already know what's going to be said. I can just sit there, I'll just parrot what he's saying in real time, and it'll probably be along the same lines, because you can sort of tell where he's going to meander off to half the time anyway. It'll be all scripted, and the Republicans probably won't have a Nancy Pelosi moment because they're cucks, and even though they should, that would be funny. Fetterman might act up. There might be some protesters outside or something. Half the cameras won't even be on Biden. I'm sure that MSNBC and CNN will be gobbling his cock the whole time, and they definitely won't fact-check what he says. Donald Trump, thankfully, will be doing that, so I'm more likely, if I pay attention at all and don't just watch clips tomorrow, much more likely to pay attention to Trump's Truth Social than anything else. That's about all. Peace out.